And we're live.
Greetings,
Everybody.
viewers, followers, subscribers.
All 0 of them. Because this is a new channel.
Is it?
Or is it your channel?
I don't fucking care.
Okay, I guess it's our...
I think we can make a new channel.
It's our channel rebirthed. So hello 34 subscribers.
I first start with a fresh mind. How wonderful shall it be?
And I'm eating some fresh watermelon. What a night to be alive.
Oh, thank you for putting in the chip bag, by the way.
I guess it's a common habit to eat watermelons during the summer. Wouldn't you agree?
I think that eating watermelon during the summer really enhances your productivity in the
Hydration skills.
spectrum
Wow.
of the circular
Organs.
region. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. And maybe some eyesight too.
I think you're talking out of your fucking ass. Why don't we have like an actual topic?
There's vitamins in watermelons, right?
There's actually a lot of zinc. to be
Wait,
honest.
aren't watermelons like all GMO? Because if you have it, these don't have seeds in it, right? So that's automatically GMO.
do they have black? No, they have black seeds, right?
No.
Yeah, they do.
Those are
No.
seedless. Those are seedless.
Oh,
And watermelons are
Right,
meant
you
to
said
have
3 of them.
seeds. But like people just hate to have seeds in them because it's cyanide poisoning or whatever poisoning it is makes them want to commit these atrocities to remove the
How much
seeds.
cyanide is in a seed? Is it a lot?
Is there actually cyanide?
I haven't done the research,
Because I've
but
swallowed a lot of black seeds before. That's,
no, that's just
That should
cherry.
take it out of context.
Black seed. Alright. But no, you're thinking of cherry pits, not watermelon seeds, so don't worry. You can swallow
so
Is-
watermelon seeds are harmful.
I don't think so.
only the...
Are they?
I think there's an annoyance, so people don't like it, and the manufacturers just
Yeah, they're just annoying. They don't want to spit out the seeds, so they're like, let's make them seedless. And then you add all these GMO in it, and then like pesticides.
Wait, what does GMO stand for?
Genetically modified organism.
Okay, so
Or organics.
No.
What?
Genetically modified...
Products.
it's not organism.
It's
It's
not-
organics.
No, it's not organic.
It's probably organic.
Yeah.
Is it?
We're searching it out.
I'm gonna look up the cyanide thing.
Meanwhile, we can talk about how great summer is right now. We're living in the age of 2020.
Oh my god, it is organism.
Well, honestly, would you say like 2020 has been like one of the most crazy years of our lives?
Before we answer that, because that's a really big question,
Yes.
I just want to say the seeds contain trace amounts of cyanide that does not affect humans but can be toxic to a pet, cat, more sensitive digestive tracts. There you go.
So therefore, I was correct.
Incorrect,
or at least
sir.
Partially.
Partially, as in, no, it does not harm humans.
Yes, indeed. But I guess everybody likes to have pets, so you need to remove those seeds.
Yeah, that's true. But a cat would never. I mean, would probably never eat a watermelon seed anyway. 'Cause-
Cats can be scavengers.
but they're
Dogs would.
They're
Yeah.
fucking carnivores.
They eat like grass sometime. To like
To
help
puke.
their stomach or some. Lions do. I mean, all felines eat like grass. They're weird. I don't know. Whatever. Then again, I'm not the one to judge or blame. But let's talk about 2020.
Isn't it weird how like it's 2020 and it's like that's the perfect eyesight?
And
Is there a correlation?
yet we can't even see the future.
Yeah, we can't
Ooh.
see that. Fucking, this is a disaster.
And yet we can't even do anything about it besides hide in our houses and hope it passes.
I mean, there's still a lot of people still scared about it, even though,
With the virus.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or the protesters,
I-
possibly.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think it's like as long as you keep your 2 meters distance, like you're doing okay.
I just found a block. So there you go. Does that mean it's GMO or not?
I think
It's
it's,
the only one I got.
yeah, there'd be way more. What are we talking about?
I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't be watching anime. That probably
Wait.
help. Your
At
productivity.
least,
We'll pause it.
at least the anime
Watching
became
anime.
somewhat better in graphics as of this year compared to the previous years. But I don't know. It's just like it seems like 2020. It's like it's a weird year. Honestly, I never seen anything like coronavirus happen before. Like I mean, like I wasn't alive when influenza was here, obviously, because that would mean that I'm like over 100 years old, which is.
But influenza kills more people. Like it has been. Since,
But people were isolated
the,
during influenza, right? Or like they would just like go outside? Cause I don't know.
It's just a flu.
Yeah, I think the scariest thing about coronavirus isn't even the virus itself. It's the fact that the government just said.
No, the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu.
It's the fact that the government just said, "Hey, your rights, you don't have them. Bye," and everyone's like, "Okay, I guess that's okay now."
No, but like I'm sorry, not influenza. I meant the Spanish flu.
H1N1.
Or some like before World War I or something. I don't know, like the Spanish flu.
The one
like,
that killed the.
Yeah, like they had to get vaccinated, and then a lot of people died, I believe, or something. But like, did people have restricted freedom back then, or were they able to do to live life freely as it was?
I really don't know.
Maybe since there was no social media, no one actually knew.
Man, people just relied on
Newspapers.
I don't think anything like what just happened has ever happened in terms of the government just saying like, yo, all the Constitution, it's all frozen.
I bet you it's happened, but they just don't have media to like back in the day, like they didn't have media to like expose all this stuff. I feel like the government's always been shady.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But I don't know.
It just seems kind of weird how like I don't know. It's like everybody is like has to be isolated, and if you don't, you could potentially get fined if you're living somewhere in like the UK, let's say for example.
Yeah. Did you see that picture of the cops? They posted this on Facebook. They were like, it doesn't matter if you're having a picnic in some rural field and there's no one in sight for miles. We're going to find you and we're going to give you a fine. Because fuck you. We are the big brother government and we own you.
in the UK.
Yeah.
Apparently a guy in Edmonton, he was just playing basketball and he got fined $500.
Oh, yeah. Shit like that's happening all the time.
And when was that?
It's probably like...
That was the same time that the couple got a fine because they're in the same car.
Yeah, it was around that time. That's probably like in the midst of like the peak of the drama, I'd say.
April?
Yeah,
Somewhere around there.
April Fools.
It was actually.
Honestly, like, I've never seen anything like this happen before. Like, this is just, like, crazy. I think, like, this coronavirus... I feel like this... I can't say much, but I feel like this coronavirus was implemented to, like, get people... For a new world order, to get people isolated and to, like, maybe, like, brainwash them or something. To, like, get them to, like...
Well, probably through the towers, man.
5G.
And the 5G. Yeah.
Honestly, I used to be on that hype, the 5G hype, but I think it's actually because apparently 5G is only in like 5 countries. So how could it spread to all these different countries?
They just want
it's 5G.
to test it in certain countries first, but I don't know why they chose the first world countries
Yeah, that's true.
rather than a country that no one cares about, like Madagascar.
Why would they test 5G somewhere where no one's going to use it?
Well, people have phones and everything.
There's no fucking people in Madagascar. It's just jungles and lemurs.
Really?
It's probably a couple
Okay,
cities.
fine. Then maybe.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that DreamWorks movies are reality.
Okay, how about? Really?
South Africa.
Yeah. Well, how about?
Okay,
well, I was thinking-
Lesotho. Or Zimbabwe. Or
What the
somewhere.
fuck is your point?
It's Eswatini.
Burundi, I don't know.
Are we
Like
just
some
naming countries?
No.
Congo.
Ethiopia or some. I don't know. Like some
Switzerland.
third world country.
No. It has to be.
Austria-Hungary.
No, it's India would be the best place. Because
India is a third world
India,
country?
India.
I thought it's second
Oh.
world.
No,
It doesn't
it's
even exist anymore.
I think there's some areas in India that are pretty like.
Because they're
Okay.
getting
Really?
good with technology right now. Like they.
They're the masters,
N-
but
no,
they're cutting down on fossil fuels and
Yeah.
I heard there was a
emissions and everything.
big
So
push in India to get everyone online, and that was a big part of why T-Series blew up, because there were so many Indians getting on the internet at one time.
It's probably
But-
true.
it was just bots, though. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure a lot of them were.
Or it was like forced subscribers.
T-Series is shady as fuck.
But back to Alex's point. Apparently, like when you were talking about the New World Order, do you
Oh
guys?
yeah, back to that we should totally take seriously.
No, I don't know. There's
It
like
could be serious.
there's this theory that like Bill Gates created this in a lab, like this coronavirus.
I think it was definitely created in a
Yeah,
lab.
but
I don't
then-
think Bill Gates, the fucking software engineer, did it.
No, it was confirmed though.
It was
Like
no,
there's not even a theory anymore. No, not Bill Gates,
but like
but the lab.
the lab's like confirmed, right?
Yeah.
But
I didn't hear it was confirmed. I just thought it was obvious.
yeah, well, it's probably obvious and confirmed.
It's engineered to attach to human cells
Yeah.
better than like a regular virus.
So
How could it not be engineered?
so if it's engineered like this, there must be a reason for this
It
happening.
was the Chinese.
Okay.
What? They want
And
to start a war?
Did you know?
Yeah.
Did you know Bill Gates has been in China since 2000 or 2008?
Yeah, he was. I think he's just feeding off their GDP or whatever.
Here's what I
help
think.
His software.
Because like
He's just funding.
people don't want to start actual wars, they start chemical wars, bioengineering wars. Because
I
that
definitely
way-
think China wants a physical war.
No, but like
because
if
they're
you
trying to encroach into India right
because if you bioengineer a war or something, like I mean, like it's like the country has to take less responsibility on itself, and like I mean, like it's more of like a global like pandemic type of thing, right?
I think it's a matter of they're just using like all fronts to try and attack the world and gain power. Because they already have like what, a sixth of the world's population?
Who, China?
Yeah,
I know they have at least 1 billion.
I think.
They probably still have grown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think India and China combined have a third of the world's population. So
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, So they engineered this for potential world order or whatever, or what's the word, martial law, where like it's government owned or military owned states, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you think that's like the actual goal of all this?
I can't say
Yeah,
much,
true.
but that could potentially be a goal.
all I know is what China's goal is because it's pretty much obvious.
What? World
Start
domination.
a war.
I don't think it's that. I
For
think-
what?
Yeah.
What do you
Well,
mean for what?
What are they
They
trying
can
to do?
conquer territory.
No.
Who's-
Cares?
who?
Who cares about
China.
that?
Ours.
Oh, they're way ahead of that.
Yeah.
They don't care about territory. They care about the whole
Of
world.
course they care about territory.
No.
What they're doing right now is they're advancing in the South China Sea and they're advancing on India's border.
Ooh.
That's all they care about is territory
No,
and population.
what they care about is world domination.
How the fuck do you think you dominate the world without conquering it?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they already like did that through killing their own people though.
What do you mean?
Through all those
Uh-huh.
riots and the terrorists, man. Everything was Chinese. All those people were Chinese. The killers and the killies.
Why would they kill their own?
What are you talking about?
Because they couldn't dominate the world yet.
Hong Kong.
So they had to kill their own people.
But I
think
guess
now
like
they're done
What are
with
you
that.
talking about?
Hong Kong riots.
Yeah, through the riots.
You know when
You're
they-
unqui.
The people of Hong Kong are not Chinese.
No.
They're being occupied.
Oh wait, yes. I think they wanted more of China, Hong Kong.
Well, I think they want.
No, they
more-
want independence.
They want.
yeah.
But that was more northern China. That was the problem. That wanted to just sort out their own population. But I think now they're done with that. And now they want to advance to Nepal.
Now they want to go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, to India, right? But
Beijing is always trying to expand.
Well, the thing is, like, I mean, China has such a big population, and it doesn't fit in the country. Like, they need more land so that the people can settle down somewhere. Because it seems kind of crowded over there, right? They don't.
It's their fucking
Well,
problem,
honestly,
dude.
why don't we just like send them to Antarctica? Like give them some land up
But
there.
that's a
Who
good point.
cares?
Yeah. Who cares about Antarctica?
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true. Actually, let them freeze to death.
Nah, they would freeze to death.
Actually, I think they're gonna start colonizing one of Saturn's moons, because that's the most habitable one.
Oh, Ceres.
Siri.
Yes, I am serious. Sorry. Okay.
I think it's called Ceres. It has water on it.
Yeah.
They found apparently Mars has water. Did you guys know this?
On the other side.
Yeah.
No, at the poles.
But does it have any like bacteria? Do they know?
Well, they're probably gonna check for that.
It's
Oh,
even
they,
better if they
They
don't.
they have bacterias in like Mars, but there's no life form right now because I mean like
Well, they
it's
don't-
Bacteria
frozen.
is a life form.
Well, like not as in like multicellular life form. Like unicellular, yes, but not multicellular
Honestly,
complex.
if there's water, there's probably
It's probably tadpoles and shit.
Yeah, there's
There was maybe I don't know like when the water wasn't frozen, but
What
like
if they got like
who
six-eyed
knows?
tadpoles? You can just have them as pets.
They probably
They got a
do.
Mars toad.
Mars toad? Yeah.
Well, then again, I don't know. Like, when are we gonna colonize like Saturn's moon? Like, I mean,
Who,
like,
China?
how is
What?
China gonna conquer it? Like, I mean, like maybe in about like 100 years or so, because like we haven't even gone to Mars, and yeah, like we want to go to like Saturn's moon.
Yeah, if we need to get anywhere other than like places really freaking close, we need wormholes.
I mean, we still have to go to our moon. So,
You've been to
Think-
the moon.
We've been there, but
Do you
we
think
haven't
we didn't go to the
established.
moon? Are you a fucking retard?
The first one was fake with Neil Armstrong,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Why?
because
They haven't even replaced anything.
what was it the flag pole, like the flag of the pole was,
Yeah,
like,
and
shaking, but there's no wind. There's no solar wind.
also,
on moon.
there was only 2 people on the moon at the time. And
They
somehow
probably just
they got
faked the
another
video footage.
picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to beat Russia or whatever. It was
Yeah,
like a race against
makes
Russia.
sense.
I'm sure they tried. Yeah, they did try going there.
There's no way they didn't actually get there. They invested all the fucking money into rockets and shit.
That was like over $1 trillion.
Yeah, but wait, do you trust NASA? Come on.
NASA
There's-
means to deceive in Hebrew. Search it up.
And there's also a snake. You see that? There's a serpent on the
That's
logo.
the-
Wait, why are you wearing a NASA shirt? You're like anti-NASA. What the hell? I just noticed that.
I got exposed. Oh, no.
I shouldn't have said
Let
that.
me see your
Sorry.
serpent.
That's the tongue of the
The
serpent.
tongue.
Oh, you can't see it. Oh, that's
Yeah.
fine. It's red and there's like
Yeah, I
a
see it.
split.
Oh yes, I see it.
This is great. It's a visual joke.
We'll put an image on the screen. Actually, I'm not going to do anything with this.
Guys, how long do you think coronavirus is gonna go on for?
Just for
I think people are already kind of like, yeah, I'll wear a mask, but like, who gives a fuck?
but it infringes on their rights though.
What?
Masks.
Honestly, I don't like those type of people. Like they like walk into a mandatory mask mall or whatever, and they just don't wear one.
And they think, and if you try to remove them, they'll sue you. But if they just don't want, they think it infringes on their rights.
Yeah, they're like,
It's mostly
oh,
American thing.
freedom. But like, man, you gotta have some compassion. Like,
I get that, but it's like, it's also like, it doesn't matter that much.
Point it
They've
out.
already shown that person-to-person transfer through like breathing is pretty like hard to do.
so what is the transfer? Through touching?
In Trudeau's words, it's speaking moistly.
Oh, farting. I think I heard.
No,
Farting.
that's not true.
Wait, what?
Oh, I heard farting. Like they were like anti-farting. There was an anti-farting movement. 'Cause it
Farting-
spread.
Yeah, that's kind of why I stopped.
Should Trudeau be a drama teacher again?
I mean,
I don't think he's smart enough.
No, he's a smart guy. Honestly, don't lie. He's a good president or prime minister.
Are
Or
you
is he a good drama teacher?
Tell me one
Hold on.
not
Hold on.
idiotic thing he's done.
Do you want to know?
Yes,
It's literally-
literally one thing he's
Do you-
done that isn't fucking retarded.
Do you see it? It's on the white mud right now. Do you see it?
What?
the big balls.
We need another one. No,
Yeah, we need
you don't
more
see
big
the-
balls.
You don't see the pipeline being made?
You're giving him credit for that?
Well, he's the one who enforced it. He put it in. He was the one for it before he got elected again.
It was either him or the natives.
You're stretching, dude.
So he does one good thing, and now you're like, oh, let's just forget about it. It's a stretch.
It's not a stretch, but if I voted for a conservative, they would not only do that, but also be less retarded in literally every single other aspect.
Wait, so
yeah.
you think he did that only under pressure?
Oh, that too.
Oh, guys, I haven't told you
I don't
this.
think deep down in his core he's like, man, I want to build a pipeline because I want to help the people of Alberta. Man, I just love the West.
I haven't told you this, guys, but when I was walking all the way here for the podcast, I saw a guy holding the Alberta Republic sign. And, like, he was just standing there. On, like,
That's Brendan's brother.
He's like an independence guy?
yeah.
Come on, that is a joke.
Who?
Don't
It's just a
tell.
joke.
I know you're in favor of it, right?
Of course.
It's so dumb. Like
In favor of what? What?
Us being our own country. Because we have no representation in Parliament.
we don't, but we also don't have the population that's found in like Ontario, and
Who gives a fuck?
it's all about
We
population.
don't need a big
Yeah,
population
well,
It's
to be
all
a
about
country.
population.
And Alberta doesn't have a sea, right?
All
so
you
at
need is
least,
allies.
at,
We
at
have
least,
America.
at least if Alberta
And
was...
if we left, we'd still have Canada as an ally. It's
I'll-
not like they'd hate us.
Wait. If at least Alberta pair with BC, then I would get it. But like it doesn't. It's like landlocked and like it doesn't have like the
There's
right.
lots of landlocked countries.
But like they don't fortune very well. Like I mean like, you look at a lot of landlocked countries.
We're part of a major country, and we're still massively financially viable.
But think of it.
But what about like all the resources? Like Alberta can't survive with some of the resources that Eastern Canada has,
What resources do they have?
like
We have all the resources.
hydroelectrics, and
We
then
have
like
oil.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen when oil is like out of commission? Like when we stop using it?
Give me a call when that happens.
It's gonna be in 10 years probably.
10 years.
Well, I think they find a lot of oil every day, but I think that I don't think Alberta is the only place that people should rely on for all these resources.
Saskatchewan
I think
also
people-
has oil. I bet you know that.
Yeah, just the northern region, right?
Yeah.
Above Saskatoon.
And they don't use it. Imagine if they
Yeah.
actually used Saskatchewan used their like oil reserves.
They would have nothing. I think people just trust Alberta more because it's just the popular source.
Because we're all slave workers.
Yeah.
I honestly don't understand the population argument one bit. It's like we have a couple of the biggest cities in the country. We could totally do it.
No,
Wouldn't even be
it's the same as like U.S. Like California has like how many people in it? They have-
Californians threat about seceding every single fucking day. So does Texas. So does New York.
They do, but
In
they
number.
probably won't ever happen.
Granted, they have bigger populations than we do, but still, they're small.
No, but like their representation in the election is more than, let's say, like a Wyoming
Yeah. I mean like
because of population.
Canada's population is almost exactly the
point?
same as California.
Because Alberta has less population. Well, they're like Wyoming, let's say, and then Ontario is like California with more population. So they'll get more representation in the election.
Alberta is not as small as Wyoming.
Well, let's just say.
Not even close.
Well, no,
Wyoming-
like
Not-
figuratively speaking, and
like
he's just
analyze it.
yeah.
It. Like I'm. Like,
it's not a
bang.
good analogy.
Okay, well, let's go.
It's more like comparing California to like Florida.
Yeah, sure.
well, like hear me out. Like I mean,
Nevada, I think.
Ontario, Alberta has 1/3 of Ontario's population. South Ontario, to be more
Wait, say again?
specifically.
Ontario has 1/3 of.
No, Alberta has 1/3
Oh.
of Ontario's population.
So they-
Southern Ontario.
So they should get 1/3 of the election value, whatever. In my opinion. That's probably what it is.
Wait,
right
so
now.
I'm sorry, because of the size of the population.
Population.
I don't think we should have democracy, but that's a whole other rabbit hole.
Oh,
Democracy.
I think democracy is just mob rule.
It kind of is.
I think you need a republic, and you need, like, if you want to make reforms to the republic, you need 2/3 majorities. That's the best way to run a country.
But then nothing ever gets done.
What's the idea? Make it perfect.
That's the
Found
conservative
a perfect country. Never have to fix it.
Oh, well, that's so dumb. Like,
Yeah,
you don't
but
That's
think-
dumb?
we don't advance?
What do
Like,
you mean?
Like, it's perfect in 2000. Is it going to
Okay,
be perfect
listen,
in 3000?
Listen, read the U.S. Constitution. How do you make that document more perfect? You don't.
No, there is, I think.
It's not enforced
You know what?
properly. If it was enforced
you know what?
properly,
It's not perfect. It's not perfect.
how is it not perfect?
Because it allows slavery. 15th.
But it was, what's it called? Ratified.
Was it ratified?
Yeah. Why do you think there's no fucking slaves, dumbass?
No.
Hey,
It's only. I forget what it is. 15th Amendment. I think it's still in.
I thought it was like the 23rd.
Hold on.
It might be like the 31st.
What
It's like
amendments? There's not 31 amendments.
it's literally prison is slavery practically. What it says in the Constitution.
They granted African American men the right to vote.
That's not true.
Well,
Whenever you
let's read
infringe
this,
someone
right?
else's right, you lose your freedoms.
15th Amendment.
Honestly, Alberta's not in this position to separate. Like, especially, like,
I think
now.
we're in the perfect situation to leave. Like, Canada's in chaos right now.
But we would just be more in chaos. Imagine if every province would just, like, separate.
If every province did it, yeah, it'd be chaos because most of their provinces are filled with retards who vote left.
But, like,
And
I mean,
as
like,
we're looking in the U.S. right now, I know I said we wouldn't bring this up, but we looked in the U.S. right now, a lot of fucking chaos, a lot of leftists causing the chaos.
but the thing is, like, the America's, like,
Foundation.
it is right. It's not left. It's not Democrat. It's,
But all the rioters are leftists.
yeah, you could say, I don't know. I mean, like,
All
maybe-
these people tearing down the founding father statues, destroying monuments, even destroying artifacts about and statues about people who were abolitionists who got rid of slavery. These people are fucking retards. They don't know a goddamn thing about politics. Which is why they shouldn't be allowed to vote.
well, the
I don't
thing
care
is,
if
like,
they're
I don't know. I
18 or
mean,
80.
like, it's just like there's a lot of, like, things that are wrong in America that may cause a civil war within the next 10 years or so. Like, I mean, like, I'm just glad that it's it's Republican right now. Primarily Republican. Imagine if, like, America was Democrat. It would just...
I'm
Well-
afraid it's gonna be fucking Democrat in a couple months. I don't know how in the fuck
Okay.
people are looking at the U.S. right now and thinking, man, I want more of this. But somehow Trump's ratings are going worse.
He'll be okay. Okay, read this.
I don't know.
Read it.
13th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution abolishes slavery and involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime.
Yeah, right there. Whoa.
Yeah,
Let's abolish slavery, except for what?
as punishment for a crime.
So you're allowed slavery if this person does a crime.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're okay with that?
Marco, when California had the wildfires, you know who put out the fires?
I don't know. Slavery.
Answer.
Our firefighters.
Yeah. You know who else? Because you can't use maybe, I don't know how big the exact number of firefighters is in California, but I guarantee it's not enough to put out all those.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So what they had to do is they had to take prisoners and pay them to be firefighters. They didn't pay them well because they don't legally have to, but
Okay.
they had manpower at their disposal because of that.
That's interesting. Okay.
Damn.
I see that.
Where do you come up with these
But
comparisons?
you don't think this can be abused?
Yeah, it definitely could.
So
And I don't really trust the government to use it well.
so the Constitution is not perfect.
But-
there's a flaw. There's a flaw.
First of all,
we
it's
read it.
arguable if it's
Yeah,
even
we read
a
a
flaw.
flaw.
I'm not even sure if it's a flaw.
How isn't it said except if you do a punishment? You're a
I
slave.
just gave you an example of a situation where it's good to have indentured servitude.
Well, think of like the worst possible scenario. Say marijuana is a crime,
Mhm.
You commit that. Oh, now the government reads this, and you're slavery. You can be a slave now.
That's a good point.
So that's the 13th Amendment.
13.
Bring up the Second Amendment.
Look at it.
Uh-oh.
We have that for corrupt governments.
Oh, is it bear arms?
Yeah.
Second Amendment.
The rate of...
And there's a reason there's never been more gun sales in the U.S. per capita than right now.
Yeah.
People are fucking ready.
The thing is, like, sticks and stones don't solve things.
Bullets do.
Second Amendment's a good one.
It keeps the government in check. And there's a reason the left keeps trying to get rid of it, because they want a government that's not in check at all. So they can do whatever the hell they want, and you can't do anything about it. Which is why Hitler banned guns, Stalin banned guns, Mao banned guns. They all do it.
That's true.
But the thing is, you can't solve problems with guns.
But they all weren't left.
Bam. Problem solved.
But don't you think in a perfect utopian world we wouldn't have guns?
No.
You wouldn't? No?
Wait,
We don't live in a utopian world.
No, if we did. Wouldn't everyone just be like loving? You wouldn't need.
What is your point?
You wouldn't need.
This isn't
guns.
reality.
It's a perfect world.
This is what Democrats are striving for.
Because they're dumbasses. They think that can possibly happen.
Well, like
I live in fucking the real world, where I know that all it takes is one shitler to go, man, these people, they have no guns, they don't want to fight back, time to take them all over.
do you know what world you live in? It's a world where you're not changing at all. You're
It's a world where I'm realistically afraid of what the government could do if it decides to get too powerful.
Yeah, oh no, that's just the Second Amendment. But conservatives in general, they want to stay the same.
That is, no.
They want to do small changes when need be.
People in America are afraid of the government all the time. That's why there's riots happening all the time, because they just don't want...
Those people aren't afraid of the government. They're just impotent, fucking soybean eating idiots.
But how do you know? Maybe they are afraid of the government
Because I've watched interviews and shit on YouTube, and you can see it. A guy interview someone in the Chads and say, "What are you fighting? What are you in favor of?" And they say, "We're against white supremacy, and this executive branch is full of homophobes and transphobes." And it's like, you are programmed to say shit. You do not believe anything.
But in a way, we're all kind of programmed as well. Like, I mean...
Maybe you are.
Damn.
Oh,
Do I sound programmed?
You are programmed.
I am hella not programmed.
You are.
This is not a program.
That is the program. A program. They programmed you to think you're not programmed.
Oh yeah?
Program
Test
to
me.
not-
Give me a Turing test. Prove to me I'm not a robot.
So what keeps us alive?
Oxygen.
Well, I mean, like, besides that...
I must
like,
be a robot.
Well,
I'm a
no, but
robot.
what's the reason why we are alive?
Okay, wait.
Oxygen!
No, okay.
Water, perhaps?
Okay. Why do you think meditation? Why are you against meditation? Why don't you do it?
Why don't I do meditation?
Yeah.
Why don't you meditate?
Because
I just think it's boring. It doesn't do anything for me.
who implanted that into your mind?
That's my opinion.
Have you ever tried it by yourself?
Yeah.
You tried. How many times have you tried
A
it?
couple times. 3, 4.
So you're basing on 3 times, and you concluded it's boring. Not from what other people are
But
thinking.
I don't know. How do you define meditation? Because there's been instances where I listen to like a podcast. It's like some guy with like a really... Today we're doing a meditation. I'm going to teach you about mindfulness. It's like shit like that.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like a 5-minute thing.
Yeah, that works.
But I don't sit there and just like put my fingers together like I'm doing a white supremacist hand sign like this, and I go.
But you don't think But you don't think you've been programmed to think it's boring? Because...
No, I think I made that up on my own by attempting to do it.
Okay.
But why
Because
do you
it's
think
just-
you're not a robot, though? Like, give me a reason why you think you're not a robot.
That's just. I don't think robots can answer that question though.
I cut my foot today and it bled.
Well, okay, fine, but besides that, like, I mean,
How
besides
much more proof do you fucking need?
spiritually proof.
Spiritually, you don't dream, right?
Sometimes I do.
Most of the days you don't. Do you think there's something that controlled you to not be able to dream every day?
Yes.
So you've been programmed.
I think it's pot.
pot. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been programmed not
I think
to.
pot makes me not dream.
Okay,
So when I
no,
don't smoke, I dream.
That is a fact. That's what it does. So you've been programmed to not dream.
I guess so.
So
Well, I
there's
guess you
something
did
that,
kind of admit.
there's something because you're relying on the substance, and it's controlling you and it programs you.
I think dopamine
It's not
kind
controlling
of
me right now,
influences you.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
But it's dopamines, right? You get it for the dopamines. Mostly.
Oh
Yes.
no, obviously it makes you feel good. So obviously,
It just has an impact on the brain that just
What's yeah.
yeah.
How did this relate to what your point was?
You said you weren't programmed, and it kind of proved you are.
I meant politically.
politically.
Well, I think weed kind of
Like, I'm definitely partisan. I'm a conservative, that's obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think I reached all of my points by reading and listening and making up my own mind. Like, I used to be very left-wing.
There's a big trend with that though. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I grew up liberal," and then they start watching some YouTube videos,
Yeah.
and they turn conservative. But you don't think these YouTube videos could be programming you?
I think... No. I think that can happen if you're, like, really susceptible to being manipulated or something.
Yeah.
But I think what's way more likely to happen... And first of all, I think what you're suggesting is what the left says, what happens. And I think it's wrong. They say, like, oh, people, they watch these alt-right people, like Milo Yiannopoulos, and then they want to kill black people
No.
or some dumb shit. You know?
But I think it is true for like some like KKK members. They probably went through some rabbit hole online, and now they are comfortable in their groups.
But you know what? I bet you this. If that KKK member could freely talk and he had free speech and we didn't have these stupid fucking hate speech laws in this country, he would not be a racist. Because enough people would talk to him that they would be able to get through to him.
I agree.
And when you don't go, you're racist, you're racist, that is way more of, like, that is not how you change someone's mind.
I agree. I agree 100%.
yeah, but they always choose a small kind of sample size to, you know, get their opinions, and that's how they influence others. To
Like a cult.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very cultish.
but they leave out a lot of the other side, so people would be
Yeah.
attracted more to their side.
You know what
That's-
Facebook did today? They banned people from talking about immigration. Like, that's straight up election interference.
Well, they're allowed to do it.
They're not allowed to do it. That's election interference. That's super illegal.
Okay, so why do you think they did it? Because do you think
Hear me out.
Wait.
They are allowed to do it because it's their own side. It's
No,
own,
you
their
are not
own-
allowed to interfere in elections. That's illegal. It
They're-
doesn't matter. It's not First Amendment protected.
It's not.
Remember the whole
interfering-
Russiagate bullshit?
Well,
That was election interference by the Russians that didn't actually interfere at all. It was all bullshit made up. But this is what they claim happened in that situation. But here, Facebook is actually doing it.
It's just wrong, but like I mean, it's their side at the end of the day, right?
It's
if
illegal.
if they get in a lawsuit, sure, let it happen. Okay,
It's gonna be more than a lawsuit.
but they have owned billions of dollars and like.
Dude, I think they're gonna have antitrust up their ass because of this.
Well, we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, we are. Culture war's getting crazy. And y'all know where I stand.
I actually heard that like 1/5 of Alberta's population is filled with immigrants.
1/5?
Yeah.
Whoa.
First generation.
This isn't even about immigrants, it's about illegal immigrants. This shouldn't be controversial. If you illegally immigrate somewhere, get the fuck out or go to prison.
Yeah, but what
You
if they
broke
do
the
it?
law.
Yeah, that's no, but that's actually true because like if you can't solve your own country's problems and you come here illegally without paying and then like acknowledging their own like government system, you shouldn't be there in the first place. Like that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys agree, but there's some.
All
I'm sure
aboard
there's a
the
lot of-
deportation station. Choo choo!
No, I'm just saying that there's.
Marco, you look upset.
I'm sure there's a lot of good reasons for people to illegally immigrate to.
Well, yeah,
other
there's a lot of
places.
good reasons for me to put a gun to your head and steal $5,000. Doesn't mean it's fucking right.
What if they come with their families then?
I robbed $5,000 for you so I could buy food for my family. Is that right?
They shouldn't have a family in the first place. I mean, if you can't support your own family, you shouldn't be raising kids or anything
Happens
like
all
that.
the time.
And if you're a parent trying to cross the border with your kids and wife, there is like super, super, super high chance your female family members get sexually assaulted.
All those
illegally
Syrian
crossing
immigrants that come to Europe, like Spain, France, or some, they come in illegally or some because the country lets them, and then like there's more crimes because of because they can't afford to get a job or some, so they have to like steal and like all this kind of crap.
Alex, there's something you don't know. You're racist! You're racist!
Oh.
Racist?
No, he's just kind of.
Or like maybe
You're racist! You're racist!
or some, I don't know, but like that's what.
You're being racist against people who are committing crimes and not specifically against an actual ethnic group. That's so racist!
Well, no, Syrian or some. Like I said, Syrian immigrants.
Yeah, but the point is anyone can illegally immigrate.
Yeah, well,
Okay. What's the reason why you don't want illegal immigrants to come?
Because they break laws. They've already proven they're willing to break laws.
Okay. Is it because they're taking jobs from you?
That's not me personally, but it does.
They could.
But that's not why.
Okay.
Like realistically, fucking 100,000 people come here. They're not gonna take the one job I was gonna get. But here's the thing. Overall, if you have a ton of low-skilled immigration, it depresses wages for lower-class earners.
So you're for the people that are born in your nation, pretty much. You don't really care about anyone else.
No.
only if they legally.
Why?
Marco, I'm in favor of immigration if they follow the law.
like
And
refugee
if they're
status
vetted
or
properly.
something. Yeah, they have to do it properly though.
Well, like, how hard is it to get a green card? Like, 1 in a million to get it? Like, no, okay,
If they can't fix their own problems country, then they shouldn't be in illegally immigrating in the first place, right? Because I mean, think of it this way. I mean, like they made their own choice to legally immigrate. I mean, like they could have done so many choices.
They
To,
can
like-
legally immigrate.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Okay, so what if you're trying to get out of North Korea then? That's the only option.
But you literally can't. Unless you go to South Korea. You gotta go by boat.
Boat?
yeah,
just
because
You
the
gotta get
border.
smuggled out.
Smug? Oh, really?
so all those people that are deprived of food and starving and like malnourished, you don't care about them, right?
Who are you talking about? North Korea specifically?
Yeah, you just leave them there. We don't want to take them.
That is a very different situation. First of all, I wouldn't take them without vetting them. But I don't think someone in North Korea is going to have ISIS connections, realistically.
Oh.
I don't think they're going to have any connections outside of their nation.
This is a deep question. What if there's a North Korean kid, let's say 7 years old? Would you take a bullet for him?
No?
You would?
I wouldn't take a bullet for pretty much anyone.
Would you take one for your fellow comrade?
The only person I'd take a bullet for is my little sister.
Damn.
And maybe my parents.
You don't know that kid, right? So like, you.
Oh, I think if your adrenaline's going, you would save the kid. That's like...
So,
But the thing is, like,
Obviously, it's a hard topic, but...
yeah, it's a hard topic. But I mean, like,
I'm too afraid of mortality to do anything like that.
You don't think you would get rewarded for doing that, saving a person's life?
No, I think I'd turn into worm food.
why do you say it like that?
It's the facts, dude. Anyway, I gotta piss.
Fun topic.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't know. I mean, like, we don't know very well those malnourished kids. Yeah, they show in the commercial that they're malnourished, but maybe they're experiencing like they're more happier than we are because they don't have social media and all those things that like are dumbing us down, making us more depressed.
Wait,
right?
are you talking about North Korea or
Just like any third world country.
they have? Yeah, I think they have it better. They're, as long as they don't know about all this. It's like if we transformed our society into a, society like more of a survival kind of society, then like we're just not used to that kind of lifestyle. But as long as they're used to it and they do it every day, I'm sure they would be happy. It's just like when we're at work or something, we're not allowed to be on our phone, or we can't watch YouTube or anything. Then that's when we become bored and we want to do something else. But like people in those third world countries, they're not exposed to that kind of lifestyle, so they just do what's
in front of
their
them.
normal, what their life.
I'd say they're probably happier just because of the like ignorance is bliss. They don't know about all this like Pizzagate.
Oh, exactly.
And they're not like into these like immigration ideas.
They don't have to worry about other worldly problems or anything. They have to worry about their own problems on how to get their ends meets to survive.
But I guess at the same time, the reason they're a third world country is because of their horrible government system. It's usually corrupt.
The thing is, like, no country is perfect, but like, I mean, some countries are better, I guess.
The thing is, you go to some of these like Asian, like these southern Asian countries, like they all litter. Like, apparently, it's like a littering disaster. Like,
But if you go to Singapore, it's illegal to litter. You can get fined for spitting gum.
Yeah, I've heard Singapore is really clean.
Singapore, yeah. Well, they have the laws.
And it's a southern Asian country, right?
Or if you go to like Thailand, let's say, or Taiwan, or something like that, apparently, I bet like there's like a theory that like most of these people there are like low density people, and they're like robbers, killers, thieves, and they like to litter.
Yeah.
I think it is true. I think since we're in Canada, we're
These fucking densities.
Yeah.
Do you think we're better than these other people since we live
Is
in
that
Canada?
like a ethno-nationalism thing?
Or just like
Get these words from?
like spiritually? Do you think we're ahead of these people?
What do you mean?
They're pretty spiritual, aren't they? Are they?
They're also
I think
Buddhist.
Oh.
They're Buddhists.
No.
Some of them.
Thailand is like mostly Buddhist.
Thailand, yeah.
Indonesia is all Muslim, mostly.
Indonesia.
It's like half Muslim, half
Yeah,
Christian.
we're half Buddhist or some.
And Iran.
Do you think we have like better karma than those people? Because
I don't
we were
believe in that shit.
you don't
It's
think,
because we won the lottery by being born in Canada.
Yeah.
Being born in a
you think it was just
country
random?
that's.
Yeah, obviously, like
What
white
are you asking
privilege
me?
or
Like, is it?
something.
Do you think God is just like, oh, you can go to this country?
I'm a deist.
Let's just say.
So say if you believe in God, do you think he's doing
Yeah,
this?
let's not say God.
So you think it's just random where we were born?
You think it's
Oh,
random?
yeah.
It's
Or
not
do you
based
think?
off of our past life.
We didn't
Okay.
choose which
I don't
country
think
to
you
be
had a past
born.
life, and I don't think you'll have a future life. I think you're worm food.
Really? Oh,
Well, you don't think we have a privilege over these other countries? Like, we have.
I'm sorry, I'm white.
No,
I'm
it's
so
not that, it's not
privileged.
that. Yeah, it's literally country to country. Not skin
You mean
color.
like just in terms of like resources?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're given more opportunity,
yeah,
and it sucks for those people over there.
yeah, for sure.
And there's nothing we can do about it.
We could send him a bunch of money, but why should we do that?
No, the government will get it. There's literally nothing we can do.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
We have more money, but we're more isolated than those third world countries. They're happier because they spend more time with their family, and they're more like intuitive with their friends.
Yeah, so that's why I think every country should do their own thing.
Everybody has their own pros and cons. No one is privileged,
Man,
honestly.
they just gotta they just gotta work with what they're dealt with. I
That-
mean, that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
We're living under our government. Are we? Right? Are you?
Like the
No,
thing is,
I don't
like
live under the government.
Man.
people have so much money in here, but like I mean, like because like of all this like technology and all of us, I mean, like we're like it's supposed to connect us, but we're more disconnected than ever before. Like,
only reason we're disconnected is because we're programmed for like to look at the next thing, or
I think we're just using it badly, right?
maybe we're using it badly.
Social media or
because like being together is like harder than like.
I think it's impossible not to use it badly because it's a dopamine hit.
Dopamine hit.
You know? It's like trying to moderately use heroin.
It's true.
You really can't.
well, that's why old people use Facebook or like Skype or something like the internet just to communicate with their family that they don't see,
Yeah.
and then they just close the computer.
Yeah.
But our generation doesn't do that, do they?
They don't like.
I try to, but you know.
It's hard. It's honestly just going like a week off the internet is like actually hard.
I don't have a Facebook, and I don't really use my Twitter hardly. So, and I don't use Instagram.
YouTube, man, that's the worst.
Yeah, YouTube is the one I use.
But I don't like compared to Facebook because I guess for a lot
YouTube
of,
isn't even social though.
it's not
that's the
social
problem.
media
Oh,
It's just a time waster.
Yeah, that's what it is.
because Facebook is more about gratification and all that, like looking for
I
likes.
legitimately don't understand why people go on Facebook. You go on Facebook and it's like, oh, someone I like is whining about a political opinion I completely disagree with. Now I like you less. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is going on. Oh, someone else is having a real fun time on their vacation in Athens. I'm not there. That's fun. Okay, next. Everything sucks. It's everything makes you feel worse about Facebook.
That's why 70% of people who use Facebook are more depressed.
I
It's a fact.
fucking totally believe that.
It's a fact.
I don't even understand like how you, even when you're doing it, it's like this is not enjoyable in the least.
Yeah,
It makes me bored in like 2 seconds.
I don't know. I don't think I don't have Facebook. I don't think no.
I think it's kind of dead as far as
Yeah.
young people. Are we young? Can we still say that?
Oh,
We got a couple of years.
couple years on our pride.
Can't wait to get my walker out.
No. Well, I mean, by the way you're progressing with marijuana, maybe you'll end up with a walker.
I'll probably end up with an iron lung attached.
That's what I was gonna say. Damn it, I didn't remember what it's called. Okay, so we're almost at an hour.
Damn, we went for a while.
Yeah.
It was natural. It was mostly politics though, and that's what you said we didn't want to talk about.
Man.
You shouldn't have got me fired up, Marco. Fuck you.
You got me fired up.
What did I say?
About the program.
I think you said it because you said Trudeau was great.
That's probably what I
Oh
said.
boy, yeah, that's the one that.
Yeah, but
That's what
that-
triggered me.
Yeah, it triggered. Like, why does it trigger you though? Like,
Cause he's fucking awful.
You say leftists only get triggered though. I'm sorry.
Oh, I get triggered when I hear Trudeau's name.
Mark, he's not bad, right? Trudeau.
You like the blackface man?
Face,
Oh, I
forgot
mean,
about-
I thought you were anti-cancel culture.
I'm in
Well, you're
favor of
using
it
it.
when he's a fucking libtard and
Oh.
he uses it against other people.
Oh,
I'm
right.
anti-hypocrite. How about that?
I think if you have ammo, you'll use it.
On Trudeau.
Yeah. I'm anti-hypocrite. Liberals are hypocrites because they say racist,
You know
but
what?
then they act however the fuck they want. And you can see it all over the place. You see Trudeau wearing the blackface. You see it with the fucking people in the media calling Kanye and Uncle Tom and shit
Yeah.
when that happened. You know, you see this all over the place. All the double standards. They call you racist, and yet look at the Black Lives Matter protests. So much anti-white shit.
Oh.
It's not about pro-black or anything like that.
It's the LGBT movement
Yeah.
involved in it. But here, wait. I think you're politically racist. Do you
I'm
think-
politically racist?
I think if you're
What
like,
does that mean?
if you like a white
You
person.
realize liberals aren't a race, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying politically racist. So it's like
Bias.
it's like liberal. Okay, so like a
No.
white person to a black person is you like a or a Republican to a Democrat.
Yeah, you keep grouping them all.
Facts.
And
Yeah, they're libtards.
Bang.
Oh.
Put them in camps.
Politically racist. Politically racist.
No, but you gotta take a look at both sides.
Gas them
Like,
with
you know,
rainbow-colored gas.
You're
And
general-
watch them all drop.
You're generalizing so hard.
here's
That's
the
a
thing I
fact.
learned
I'm
in
not
school.
generalizing.
You're generalizing.
Marco, look at the U.S. right now. It's fucking on fire,
Yes.
and they're ripping down historical monuments. Where are the leftist politicians? Where is anyone saying,
You know what?
this is kind of fucked up, maybe we shouldn't do this?
Do you know what's bad about it? Because they're getting paid.
Money.
There's something happening.
That's not why.
Oh,
they
they're-
believe this
oh.
shit down to the core.
What's that guy's name?
Okay, how
Kavanaugh,
did the
whatever?
Roman Empire disappear? Like, right? I mean, like, it's because, like, I mean, like, empires, like, the greater the empire, the greater the fall is.
It's just the bigger it is, the more hate
Yeah.
it gets.
Do you want an actual answer? It fell because of democracy.
Well, exactly.
It should have been a republic that needed a 2/3 majority to be modified.
Mm-mm.
It wouldn't have fell.
Mm-mm.
Because they couldn't have changed all the laws and caused everything to collapse. Because they created a massive welfare state that was unsustainable and it collapsed on itself.
If you don't have democracy, though, you don't have free will.
That's not true.
If you don't have
How are they
democracy-
related?
No.
If you don't have democracy, okay,
Okay, what big
going back to my example of the U.S. Constitution, say you have that Constitution, you have all the laws that seem reasonable in a reasonable first world country, you just don't have democracy. How does that affect how you live your life other than the fact that you don't vote every 4 years? Because really, does your vote fucking matter?
Well, the more people, I guess.
The only votes that matter are the ones with $100 bills on them.
Oh. Well,
But they still use the other people to get their votes, right? I mean, like, we're kind of controlled by those $100 people to get them to vote.
It's just a cycle of manipulation. The politicians manipulate people to get them to vote for them, and they use taxpayer dollars to do that.
What if I told you that both sides don't matter? Because when I took English classes...
Oh, I'm so woke, dude. I don't believe any side is right.
No, but like, I took essay classes and then they would like...
I'm just a woke centrist.
No, but hear me out. Whenever I took essay classes, they always told me to
I
pick
think
one
the left
side.
and right both are wrong.
They
I'm gonna take a controversial stance.
if you pick one side, you can't go for the other. You have to be either like constitutionally one side, or you have to be like constitutionally on the other side. There's no like in between. You have to stick to one side or like the other side.
Like when you vote, right?
you can't. You can't pick the pros and cons of both sides.
There
right?
are countries that have what's it called?
I mean, we all know that, like, I mean, lefts are bad, but so are Republicans bad. I mean, like, Trump is no saint, right?
I forget what it's called, but there's some countries that have this system where you rank all the parties on your ballot, but you rank them in order,
Of what?
like favorite to least favorite. So, like, if I mark up a ballot, it'll be like conservative, libertarian, people's,
Oh,
and
that's
then
a good
like
idea.
NDP liberal or something like that. So my top vote counts the most, my bottom vote counts the least, but my second vote still counts. It just doesn't count as much as my first vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not a bad way of doing things.
That's interesting.
I mean, that's definitely better than what we have.
But it's just like what could be more free than democracy?
Nothing at all.
Democracy, you know what the problem with democracy is? Is the actual politicians that are getting paid in office.
Yeah.
Like, we need intellectuals in the office. It's a fact, though. Come
Yeah.
on.
No, it's not.
We need people who are actually
it's-
smart.
You're describing technocracy, and it doesn't work because it just results in
No, it's not.
elitist people gaining power and thinking they're better than everyone and
No.
trying to rule from the top.
The one I'm thinking about starts with an M. It's like monocratic or something.
Monarchy?
I don't know, but you just described technocracy. But the idea of the smartest people in society being in power, that just leads to elitism.
It does. That's what happens in Silver Road or whatever. It's like there's
Sylph Road,
like in the U.S.
Sylph Corporation.
Yeah.
Go
Or
to
so-
top, go to
or-
top, get a master ball. What the fuck you talking about?
What's it called?
Silicon.
Silicon Valley. There you go. There's a lot of elitism over there. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Okay, well, I mean, I
You
guess
might be
that
right.
makes
You
sense.
might be right.
Yeah, and imagine fucking Mark Zuckerberg being a politician. Jesus.
He's like 100 IQ. Do you know
Oh no.
what's his? Wait.
He's like a lizard person.
He probably is, but wait. Do you know Bill Gates? He was given that software. Like he didn't actually make the software. He was given it. So he probably has like 100 IQ. Everyone probably thinks he's some like genius.
There's no way, dude. He's the richest man on earth. He's got to at least be competent.
Well, obviously it is some smart. He probably has good connections
He
and
just
stuff.
invests in manipulative practices.
The thing is, like, I mean, like, I think like those
I
with the
thought he
most
built
experiences and the most wisdoms should be involved with politics.
He bought us from some like poor family, and he stole it. Well, not stole it. He probably bought it. But you've been programmed to think he is some like genius.
Yeah.
So, are you saying if I like
Say,
search Wikipedia and go to Windows, it's not gonna tell me this?
You need more sources besides Wikipedia.
Say who.
You can't just
Who created
you
it?
can't just get your source information from one source. You gotta look at the other like ends of the spectrum, and then kind of correlate and just differentiate.
Well,
I'm sure it was built by like a team of people.
Yeah. No,
It's a big operating system.
But he's the one who bought it from someone. Did Bill Gates buy?
No, it doesn't say anything about Bill Gates in Wikipedia. I don't know if he
I
did.
found it.
Who sold Microsoft to Bill Gates? IBM.
Wait, did you say Windows?
Apparently Cadal. Deal with Cadal. So Microsoft bought from this company called Cadal for $50K and licensed it to IBM.
Hold on.
So Bill Gates bought Microsoft for $50K.
That's so smart what he did.
It is, but do you think he's not the one who created it? Everyone thinks he's like some like mad genius, but he probably has.
He probably gets too much
I think what he
credit.
did is smarter, but it's a matter of business versus engineering. It's what do you consider more impressive?
Yeah,
Oh, well, I guess in that case, like, maybe he is kind of smart.
he's smart, yeah, business wise, but
Because all he did was he bought a shell that fits on top of DOS and said, "This is a really nice UI. Pack it into your computers for a small fee, and I get a bit of a kickback." And that's how
Yeah.
he made all his money. He didn't do any work.
yeah, exactly. And guess what? He won't be at the top of the hierarchy of a whatever Theros something. What'd you say?
The technocracy.
Technocracy. He won't be up there.
Well, then what's your metric if it's not money?
Oh, it's IQ. Maybe not IQ.
That's horrible.
It's
Maybe not IQ.
popularity.
No.
That's democracy.
That's
Because then it's prone to. What's it called?
Inflation?
No. Demagoguery. That's the word I was looking for.
demagoguery.
I take it you don't know that word.
Sounds made up.
Is it?
Demagogy?
Demagoguery.
Democracy?
Demagoguery.
Go-
Look it up. Demagoguery.
like democracy, except with G's?
Something like that.
Okay.
Demagoguery.
Demagoguery. I was lying to you.
Demogorgon.
Demagoguery.
Demagogue.
Yeah, that's the short one.
A demigod?
The hell?
Demigod.
Political activity or practices that seek support by appealing to the desires and prejudices of ordinary people rather than by using rational argument.
Did you really say prejudicize?
Prejudices, I think,
That's the one.
Prejudicide.
of ordinary people. I don't understand.
Basically, like Hitler.
Oh.
Someone who tries to manipulate the public.
A lot
That's
of people
supporting
try to manipulate the public. A lot of politicians, not
Yeah.
just like.
So you're saying that's what Steve Jobs,
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates does?
No, I'm saying that's what, like, happens in democracy.
That's probably true. That's why we need not politicians. We need intellectuals.
I don't think intellectuals are going to be any better. I think they'll be demagogues that are selfish and do whatever the fuck they want to benefit them.
I think we need like every year new intellectuals. How about that? So they're not like the same people at the top all the time.
Well, that's always been like my position. We shouldn't let people have 4-year terms, 5-year terms. That's insane.
Yeah, but you don't think that would work? New intellectuals rotating, they're coming up with new ideas.
I mean, not if it's not a good system to begin with. I don't think giving intellectuals the fucking keys to the insane asylum is a good idea.
Well, isn't intellectuals gonna find the best possible way to go through?
No, because how the fuck do you know they're a good person?
Because they're smart.
Because they're smart. They.
That makes you a good person?
No, it doesn't. But
No, that's what people
if anything,
perceive it as.
like Bill Gates, he's supposedly like, oh, he's this rich, like engineer, and he's like one of the evilest people on the planet.
yeah, but he doesn't have a high IQ.
Think about, he probably does. I think you're just making up that he doesn't.
Bill Gates. Bill Gates.
Well, he just bought. Wait, didn't I just tell? Wait,
Just because he bought, that doesn't mean he has a low IQ.
like he's not the one who actually engineered the.
He's just an average.
So what?
The person who engineered the.
He made himself the richest person on earth. I think he's pretty smart.
By stealing from other people.
He didn't steal. He bought it.
You didn't give him credit.
He played the game.
Well, it's a cruel world then.
And he played like a cruel motherfucker.
Smart. He's a smart. Well,
But you don't want cruel people on top of government.
I agree, but he's not gonna be the smartest person. Like obviously, there's gonna be smarter people than him.
My point is, just don't have the fucking politicians in the first place, because then you don't have to worry about corruption.
Who are you gonna have then?
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Here, what's your answer?
Exactly.
What's your answer?
To what?
We don't have politicians. I have an answer, but do you?
Yes.
What?
It's so radical, you're not even gonna fucking believe it. Go about your life and don't fucking think about it ever again.
That's not an answer. What?
Of course it
What
is.
that?
Yeah.
You just
What do you mean? What does
Politicians
Trudeau
have the
do
money.
for you?
Politicians have the
Why
money.
do
We
you
don't
love
have
him
the
so
money.
much, you faggot?
I don't.
Politicians have the money and the power. We don't.
Then why do you care that he's in office?
Okay,
Why are you like, I need a figurehead with fancy hair and blackface to feel good about myself?
But do you see your answer? No politics. Oh, let's do whatever we want. That was
No,
your
not
answer,
do
like,
whatever we want, but just not have politicians. We don't need them.
What about police?
So how are you? I mean, like, how are you gonna
we need
get rid of
cops.
the politicians?
I already explained it. You build a republic, you have all the lines outlined, you have a judicial system. If you need to make changes to the judicial system or amend the Constitution, you need a 2/3 majority. So you do need some kind of democracy, but 50% is way too low. Because
What
that
kind of
just
the
causes it to go
republic?
back and forth like a fucking ping pong.
What kind of a republic? The one with Darth Vader in it, or like, what are you talking about?
Good one!
Okay, I got like 5 minutes, then I gotta go.
Okay.
We have. I mean, we are over by 10 minutes of an hour, which is the threshold for
Should we just call it?
Wait, what do you mean?
Audacity to send files.
Why the fuck didn't you tell us that sooner?
I probably should have.
Yeah.
Well, wait.
Maybe you should have.
You guys were heated though. I didn't want to interrupt.
Why were we having a fucking heated debate if it's not even gonna make air?
It should still work.
I can
right?
cut it, I guess. Should I stop it now? Okay,
Yeah.
so everyone say your goodbyes.
Okay, final thoughts, Brandon. Go ahead.
I don't want to start. Can someone else start?
Okay, I'll start. We need intellectuals. We need smart people making the decisions. We don't need paid people making the decisions. Who cares about that?
And we just need overall freedom.
We need freedom. Let these intellectuals find freedom for us. That's a bad answer.
Yeah. How about I find freedom for myself?
I agree. So you're a Buddhist. That's
No.
a Buddhist.
Oh no. Oh,
Nothing remotely Buddhist.
we're stopping.
That was a Buddhist.
Alex, do you want to have some final words for the podcast?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I think politics is just drama itself being played out.
Yeah, Trudeau should be a
There's,
drama
like-
teacher again.
Well, I don't know. It's just a lot of money that goes into it. That's why. All right. That's
Well, that's about it.
Bye,
Peace out,
everyone.
guys.
See ya.